Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to episode 2 of how to make a terrain. So in this video I'm going to be showing you the configs, where to put them and what they actually mean, and showing you bits and bobs. So the first config we're going to start off with today is a config CPP. So that needs to be put in this main source. This is basically what you 100% need this for your map. So my map's called Longshore Island. On this is the class name, so this is what you want everything to be like. So Longshore _ Island, and then here this can be anything you want. Obviously you're the author, so you probably want to put your name there. The name can be anything you want as well. This doesn't need underscores or anything, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, remove the underscore, and then put a capital I there. Now for the class, now this is the class for everything where mine says Lakeside on the class names. I'm going to actually remove. So description, it's Longshore Island. This does not need no spaces as well, so we can put that there. The WRP is what you extract it to. This is that your map will be looking for this. You won't be able to PBO it with this. So whatever you're gonna call your WRP, this must be the same. So I'm just gonna call it Longshore _ Island anyway. Obviously this part here, this is your actual directory, so you must remember to get the same as what you've got in your P drive folder. So you're gonna paste that there. Then you're gonna carry on scrolling down. I will be giving you this after, and then obviously where it says class at the bottom, you want it to be the same as these. Now as you can see here, class names, these are places for your towns. This is where basically you'll be able to spawn. So as you can see, these are my new places, cities, etc. These are the only ones that I've done currently. Now obviously that's basically it. This is what spawns outside of your map. So this is going in debug area outside your map. So that's basically all you need to do for that. There's nothing else you need to change. You just want to keep it like that. The required add-ons, your map will come up with an error if you try and if you don't have these add-ons loaded. So if you have your own mod that you've made your own buildings, you want to put that in there as the PBO. But obviously if you've gone that far, you probably know what you're doing in this aspect. So then what we want to do is we want to go in the data folder. We want to create a folder called roads, so roads, and then we want to create a folder called layers. Not do that. We want to create a folder called layers. Now people are going to be like, you don't need the roads in Dayz, which is true, but people have come across roads not spawning in when they first create the map, etc. like that, and I've done this with a lot of people where you do the roads, you just export it like you would do, say if you were doing it with Armor, and then the roads will appear. So the layers, you don't need to do anything in there, that's where everything generates. But if you go into the data folder and in your roads folder, you need to make a brand new files. So you want to create a text document, so you right click, obviously text document, Control A, but you won't be doing this, and you want to rename it to this, and then it'll come up with this file extension. If you might change it, become unusable, you want to click yes, and then you're just going to carry on doing it with all the ones that I give you. I'll give all the names in the description, so you'll literally be able to copy and paste, Control A, and then change it all up. Now in Armor, when you have the roads lib config, you don't need that in Dayz. Reason, because you're not actually spawning in a texture, you're gonna be just exporting, to be honest. So we've done that now. So that is all your roads sorted. This is where you'll export your roads to, and then we're gonna go back to Longshore. We're gonna go into the source. Now what we're missing here is we're actually missing the layers.cfg. Now I have a video on that explaining that in detail, but I'll just go over it again really quickly. Is that, as you can see in here, these are what are spawning the textures. These are what textures it's looking for. So remember, you must have this correct or the textures will not work. If you change this here, you must change it down here. These two must be the same, but as you can see here, it's requiring, that's where it's going to be looking for. We want to change that, so remember just to go to your P drive, click F2, Control C, and then double click, and then Control V, and then save. Now that is your layers all sorted. So double check when you go into your file, then your source, that you have your mask, your satellite, your layers, and your height mask. You must have these. These are very important, and if you don't have these, your map's not going to work out too good. So what you want to do now is you want to go to File, New Project. Just make sure that it's clean. You don't want anything to be there that you know what's not supposed to be. So the first thing you want to do is you want to click Map Frames. You want to click Add Map Frame, and on this you click OK. Now it's going to come up with this location menu. So the name can be anything you want, but I technically like to base it off what I'm doing. So Longshore, and then Island. This does not matter, like capital letters or anything doesn't matter. So the output root folder, that's where your folder is in your P drive. So remember, you got to go to your find your P drive. Once you've found your P drive, then you can actually create the folder. So you go to P, find your folder, there we go, Longshore Island, okay. Now this is really important, what you're about to do next. Obviously the other things are important, but this is really important. So what you want to do is you want to type in this number, and then you want to put point, this. Then for here, nothing, you want to put 4 zeros, but you want to go 1, and then point, and then 1, 2, 3. Once you've done that, that is complete. So now the sizing. This is obviously important for what you want your size to be. Obviously we've got multiple different sizes here, but I'm sticking to what I've done with like Lakeside. So I'm going to click 10 by 24. On the cell size I'm going to put 10, but remember, make sure you put these extra dots there. Then down here, that, as you can see, that automatically changed. Here we want to put 10 by 24 and then add a 0 on it. Now it's changed that to 1, so we're all good on that one. The size, this is how many layers it's actually going to change. When I started, I used 10 by 24, but I actually bugged my map out and some textures were missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that 5 by 12 because then that works. And then the texture layer here, I'm going to put that to 40. Now that is perfect. What we want to do in the layers config now is obviously click the 3 dots and then find where you want to go. So you want to find your main source, your source folder, then your layers config. Now we're going to click rebuild terrain. Yes. Now you can click OK on that. This does not mean it's done. It's nowhere near done. So what you want to do is obviously here when you click save, because you must save it just in case it crashes, because if it crashes you've got to do it all over again. So unnamed project, obviously we're going to give it a name, so we're just going to call it Longshore Island, and then just save that. Now that is done. What we want to do here is we want to click refresh on default map frame. Now it's going to come up with a menu. This is where you want to find your height field. So height map, yes. Then you just gotta let that generate. Now that's generated. Now that's gone somewhere on the map. As you can see, it's gone in your map frame, and this is what the map looks like. As you can remember, in L3DT I went around some of the edges, and in here it has changed. Remember, you can always do this. You can always go in L3DT and change it, but remember, if you do any edits in Bulldozer to your terrain, it will reset and not be there no more. So now what we want to do is we want to go File, Import Satellite Images. You want to import your satellite image, which is obviously like sat_local. So we're just going to click OK on this. Now as you can see there, it is too small. So what we want to do is we want to go on terrain coordinates. Here we want to add an extra 0. Remember when we set up at the start, we said 10 by 24, but we needed to add that extra 0. This is what it is. If you do a 5 by 12, it's obviously the same thing. And now you can see that it's become large. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that. And what do you think we're going to do next? Yes, you got it right. We're going to import the mask image. So surface mask image mask. This is obviously my one from Lakeside, but it will still do the job of what I need it to do. So I'm just going to click OK. Now this is going to take a bit longer than my satellite image, as you can see here, but you've just got to give that time to generate in. And then obviously if it comes up like last time where it wasn't the same size, we know what we're doing this time. We're just going to add another 0, but I think this might have done it. Up here, as you can see, this is where you disable them, and then look, we've got the right image. As you can see, this is my one from Lakeside. There we go. But as long as it spawns in the same textures, we're perfectly fine. What you want to do now is you want to go over to map frames over here. You want to right click and you want to go to properties. Once you've gone to properties, you want to click rebuild terrain once again, and you're going to click yes. Now we're going to click OK on that, and we're going to save this. Now yet again, this is our terrain completed. Everything's in here. As you can see, if we scroll wheel, we've got that there. Now if you want to add a template library, remember you must have your P drive to do all this. If you don't, I recommend going back, because none of this will probably work for you. So I'm just going to pick a random color. We're going to pick peach. We're going to click there. Now you want to add your normal Dayz things in. So for me, the folder is called Dayz. Okay. Then once that's loaded, it'll take a while obviously because it's going to find all your things in. You've done everything. Now thanks for watching episode 2. Tomorrow will be the next episode hopefully, and I will show you how to actually generate all your layers correctly. And then I'll show you how to go in game, how to place things, and basically run over everything. So remember to subscribe, leave a comment if you need any questions answering, obviously leave them down below, hit the like button and join my Discord.